Welcome to the first episode of Politics5, where the goal is to explain the structure and the applications behind British politics in 5-minute episodes. In an age where politics is becoming increasingly polarised and fragmented, many people are asking whether it is time to change our political system. But there is also a great deal of misinformation, confusion and assumption online about how the British system actually works. This channel will exist simply to explain the system in clear, non-partisan language. Now, some people may be happy with the present system. Others may want to see parts of it reformed. And still others may want a complete reset. But whether we support the system, challenge the system, or want to replace the system entirely, we must first understand how it actually works, not simply how we think it works. So let's begin with a deceptively simple question. Who is the government? Because the answer may not be quite what most people assume. In the British political system, the government is not all the members of a governing party. The government specifically refers to the group of ministers appointed to run the country in the name of the Crown. Of course, at the centre of that government is the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is normally the leader of the political party that can command a majority in the House of Commons. The Prime Minister then appoints ministers to key positions such as Chancellor, Home Secretary, Foreign Secretary, Defence Secretary, Ministers of State, Junior Ministers, the Whip, and others. Typically, this accounts for 100 to 120 people within most governments. Together, these ministers form His Majesty's government because they are appointed in the King's name. So all MPs of a governing party are not members of the government. Most of those MPs are actually called Backbench MPs. Their role is not to run departments directly, but to debate laws, scrutinise government decisions, represent their constituents, and to hold their own ministers accountable. Meanwhile, the opposition parties are, of course, not part of the government at all. Instead, the largest opposition party forms what is called the shadow cabinet. Their job is to challenge and to scrutinise the government from the opposition benches. Now, here is where many people may become confused. Parliament and government are not the same thing. Parliament is the legislative body in the United Kingdom. The government sits inside Parliament, but Parliament also contains opposition MPs, independent MPs, committees, and the House of Lords. So when people say the government passed a law, what actually happened is the government proposed legislation, and Parliament debated and either objected or passed it. And that is why laws are called Acts of Parliament, not Acts of Government. The British system is designed this way partly to prevent too much power being concentrated in one place. The government governs, Parliament scrutinises, the courts interpret the law, and elections allow the public to remove governments periodically. Now, in reality, governments with large majorities can become very powerful. But constitutionally, the distinction between the government and the Parliament still matters. Because understanding that distinction helps us better understand how British politics actually functions. So, in summary, the government is not all the MPs of the governing party, and it is not Parliament itself. The government is specifically the group of around 120 ministers appointed in the Crown's name to run the country through Parliament in the name of the King. And understanding that distinction is one of the first building blocks to understanding how British politics really works. This has been Politics 5. British politics explained in 5 minutes.